Got some great coupons for service. So if you're not in the mood for a new car yet, go get some service. They got tire rotations for $16.95, the Works Fuel Saver Package for $29.95, 10% off all parts, and pothole specials, which are coming, right? We got the pothole season here. So Brighton Ford, you can go to brightonford.com or call them 800-494-2175. Brighton Ford, great place. Scott and Todd Spittler up there run a great dealership in Brighton. And they're happy to help you out with service on any vehicle, even if you didn't buy it there. Okay, so, Ed, I want to do a quick announcement here for Don Miller. Warriors and Caregivers United on January 11th, which is coming up pretty quick, between 5 and 9 p.m. at Frenchie's in Ypsilanti. That's next to Sidetrack Bar and Grill down in Depot Town. They're going to be trying to raise money for veterans. And they've got, this looks like Miss Michigan, former Miss Michigan, Stacy Mason will be hosting it. She must sing or something, I guess. Plus, you get some great food from Sidetrack and some auction items. So give them a call. You have to check them out on web, www.wacu.org. Or go to Facebook, Warriors and Caregivers United. So check them out. It's a good way to raise some money for a really important cause, taking care of our veterans and their caregivers as well. So check it out. It's sponsored by VVA Veterans Chapter 310. Okay, that's it. Boy, did I manage to get through that?
Remind me of when I was in high school. I was that Napoleon Dynamite kid. I had a book bag. I had pencil protectors. I took drafting. I was a geek.
Did you do the dance on stage? Like
no,
Napoleon
I did not
Diamond
do the dance.
I could see that, man.
It's really funny is I went to an all-boys Catholic school in Monroe, and next to it was an all-girls Catholic school, and some of my buddies and I were in the parking lot, and they were talking about this incredibly good-looking senior. We were seniors, incredibly good-looking girl, and I knew her because she was the director of the stage that we were doing for the play we were doing, and I'd talk to her. Well, these guys are, hey, you know her. Go ask her out. Go ask her out to the prom. Ask her out to the prom. It's no way. She's not. She's got, the football coach or something like that. So she and I ended up talking, and I see, the guys over there urging me that I should ask you out to the prom. She says, well, why don't you?
Oh, see, there you go.
And except for a last-minute thing that happened, she would have been my date for the prom. Now, I say that to say this. A year later, I was in the Air Force, and I was down in Biloxi, Mississippi, and a bunch of us were down. We were waiting in a bar, waiting to rent some motorcycles. And the Miss America pageant was on. Miss America pageant. And there across the stage, she was Miss Michigan. She did not win Miss America that year. But, dudes, young men.
Don't be afraid to ask a girl out. A lot of girls want that, just because they're good looking. A lot of times they're the last to get picked, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Intimidated.
Yeah, you could end up with somebody really nice. Let's take a call from Joe in Wyandotte. Wants to talk about our 2018 Senate. I told you, it wasn't too long before we started talking 2018 election. Joe, welcome to the show.
Absolutely. I started talking 2018 on November 9th because we cannot putz around. We cannot wait. Michigan finally went red for POTUS, first time since '88. If we're going to go red for our U.S. Senate seat in 2018, we must begin now. And I don't know if you caught the Clark cast last week or just before you today. He reran the same broadcast, and I ran past him, and it wasn't my idea, but I kind of went with it. Some people are tossing around a draft Roger Penske movement, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion on drafting Patrick Colbeck, because I know Linda and Tyrone kind of toss around and half-jokingly talk about him for governor.
Oh, they're not joking.
Schuette's going to be a shoo-in for the next 8 years for governor. But we could use Pat in the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, you know what? I love Pat. And he is like one of the most common sense, smart guys. I would love to see him. My only concern with Pat is, number one, you got to have a lot of money. And number two, there's a lot of GOP people in this state who don't like that Pat is so common sense and smart, And if you've been watching, what's our founding fathers guy on 11 o'clock during the weekdays?
The trucker.
I tell you what, I am so disappointed, Joe, in the state GOP in this state right now. My prediction is next election, we may lose the House or the Senate here in the state back to the Democrats because the Republicans are idiots. That's all I can say. Idiots. And Governor Snyder, you worthless piece of garbage. passing this energy bill, whatever it was that you stuck on us.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. I'm sickened. And don't you dare try to run Brian Calley for governor, because you know what? I will be out there beating the bushes against him. I don't want another rhino piece of garbage running for our governor. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen you turn red in a while.
I'm mad. I'm sorry, Joe. You got me up on this one.
Oh, Joe's got a Facebook group.
Up, and hopefully the audience, the 2 or 3 of us remaining, like Ed was joking, gets fired up about it.
Yeah.
After that religious discussion and drove everybody away. But no, seriously, I know, again, Schuette is probably going to run. Again, I have an issue or two with Schuette, but he's okay. I would definitely back him over Calley. I'm with you. I will not back Calley. And I agree with you, too. Patrick Colbeck may be too conservative for us to get enough support. Grassroots will be there. But the party, like you say,
the party
will resist him because he is indeed an actual platform Republican, a real Republican, not a rhino. And the state is full of rhino Republicans. And I agree with you on the energy bill thing. That may cost us, that and other things.
Yep. You know, Joe, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I talked to Theron on the air the other day about Schuette and why wasn't he coming down on the Wayne County Board of Canvassers, Ingham County Board of Canvassers. Why does he need Senator Colbeck to prod him into doing an investigation? And I was talking to Linda about that this afternoon, and she pointed out that Schuette probably does not want to do anything about that because he does have statewide ambitions for the governorship, and that's limiting his activity on our behalf. And it's because I can't understand why a Republican who has the opportunity to investigate a valid concern that's affecting Republicans would remain so quiet.
Yeah. Once again, somebody's political career is overriding the needs and desires of the people of the state of Michigan, and that's bullcrap.
Well,
I'm so tired of it.
A little true. He has gone after a couple of Detroit Democrats, and he's still, Banks currently, that he's prosecuting, and may wind up doing some prison time. And of course, who was it that did the plea deal and left the house? I'm drawing a blank on his name. That took a shotgun to his ex-wife's Mercedes. Or whatever.
I can't remember his name either.
Well, that was an easy one. That was an easy one, though. You know, that's hardly partisan.
Well, since we're talking of drafting, I'm going to go back to the one that I do. I do this on Twitter fairly often. I do it on Facebook occasionally. If you're going to draft somebody, I think this election showed us, Joe, that you know what? If you're going to win a general election in this country, and probably especially in the state as well, you have to have some celebrity status. You have to have something above and beyond just the platform that you put out there. And so for me, if you're going to draft someone, I want a guy that I know can win the state hands down from Debbie Stabenow, because she's got a machine. She's got money. She's going to win that position unless you throw the top-notch person who's super popular against you. You need a populist. You need a patriot. You need somebody. And I'm still saying it's Kid Rock.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He's a patriot. He's a Republican. He's a conservative. Why not? He's got the pop. There's not. Every Democrat, Independent, and Republican will vote for him.
I forgot you'd said that.
That goes back to Penske being an anti-politician, has name ID, has the seed money and connections to more money. But I want to pull it back to Colbeck because he's right on the issues, and he has a great record. And like you said, he doesn't hold back. He was against the gas tax. He fought the gas tax. He fought for bettering our roads, which would have brought down the cost to maintain the roads overall into the future, and no need for the gas tax. Fought the energy bill. Fought all the things we, as a real Republican, want him to fight, and stood with us for the things we needed. And some people hate him for it, but the grassroots would certainly love him.
Yeah.
But does he have the statewide recognition? Probably not. The party may want to withhold the money. It would have to be purely grassroots funding.
Yeah, it would be tough. I'm with you, though. I would support Pat because I like Pat, everything he stands for, I think. And he comes up with just the greatest plans, and Lansing shuts him down all the time. It just boggles my mind that these idiot Republicans that are in control in Lansing right now keep shoving this garbage down our throat and expect us to turn around and support them. I can tell you right now, Michigan GOP, you guys are hurting. And unless you start acting right over the next 24 months, screw you. because I'm not going to support those people up there that are doing the crap that they're doing in Lansing right now.
And that may begin with getting Scott Hagerstrom to be the GOP chair. That may help to start turning around, because Hagerstrom is a conservative. I like him. I trust him. He was on the Trump campaign, so that hopefully that won't keep the divided factions at one another, but hopefully can bring us back together again.
Yeah, well, what just bothers me is here in Michigan, we've had the governorship, the House, and the Senate, and these worthless pieces of garbage have not done what should have been done. They make me sick. And I have no support and certainly no respect for the Michigan GOP as it stands right now, the leadership,
right, there's very few rays of light. Pat Kolbeck is one, Gary Glenn, Lana Thies, maybe Hooker, Cheeto, but he ran for county now. I'm drawing a blank on some other names, but I mean, you could count them all on two hands.
Yeah, and Joe, to your point about dumping Debbie Stabenow, and your campaign to do that. If you look at, we were talking about Schuette, and we were looking at the Wayne County and the Ingham County Board of Canvassers. Well, this is a statewide election you're talking about, and so certainly voter fraud in Wayne County and Ingham County, those can throw a statewide election for a statewide campaign. Why wouldn't Schuette, if he's looking to boost his own prospects to run for office, a statewide office, try and put a quash on some of the nefarious activity of these people who are screwing with our vote?
Yeah, those precincts, 300 plus out of 600, that had more votes cast than there are paper ballots for, all need to be thoroughly investigated, and state monitors have to be issued. And Pat Kolbeck, I've urged him to put forth legislation. The law is backwards. In a recount, no more of a district needs to be recounted than one that has a flagged irregularity. If there were 300 votes reported and there were 50 ballots in the bag, we know some more were found in the machine, but the numbers still didn't add up. That's more reason to insist that district be counted and counted only on the paper ballots, which are the only valid legal votes cast.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's not. And the mainstream media, of course, is kind of, Fox News hits a little bit. You won't see it on CNN, MSNBC, all this irregularity going on in Detroit. So, yeah, you're
Joe,
right.
You saw what I said about, if Obama was really looking for a nefarious organization that was trying to manipulate the elections in the United States, he'd look at the Democratic parties, particularly after Wayne County and Ingham County. And then when you think even as far back as John F. Kennedy's election, who got him the vote? Who got him elected president? What was the mob in Chicago?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a nefarious organization that's influencing the election.
All right, Joe. Well, thanks. I appreciate the call, man. Call in again.
Take care, my friends.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we're talking about Obama now blaming the Russians as well. And yet, oddly enough, none of the intel services have come out and gone to Congress like they've been asked to deliver some proof. Mm-hmm. Right? They're just telling Congress, go screw yourselves. I'm not going to do anything. We're not going to come out and tell you anything. Well, then don't say anything. If you don't have any proof, don't open your yap.
Sounds like fake news to me.
That sounds like fake news. And this is, let's be honest. Podesta, right? All those Podesta emails that WikiLeaks got. Podesta he put his email in under a phishing scam. That's how they hacked him. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Russia. The idiot went in and gave up his password in a phishing scam. What a retard. I mean, what is wrong with you? And when they told the Democratic Party, you've got a problem, what did they do? They did nothing about it.
Yeah.
They just sat back and it's all right. I'm glad I don't want those people running the government.
Yep.
If you can't handle your own email, how the heck are you going to handle nuclear codes? How are you going to handle negotiations or anything else?
Once again, we're going back to the religious thing, okay? One thing historically God has done in the Bible is cause confusion in the enemy's camp. And you could make some point there. That's exactly what happened this last election, is that there was so much confusion in the enemy's camp. They shot themselves in the foot. Yeah. She puts a server in her closet, her bathroom, her basement, wherever, and it gets hacked. And then what? Somebody else is to blame?
Yeah. Well, and even the DNC hack, I mean, they can say whatever they want about Russia. It's pointing that Seth Rich, who was murdered DNC staffer murdered because allegedly he is the guy, and there are ambassadors from the UK now who said, we took that information from Seth Rich.